I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? Alright. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
British Spy Stories Season 7 Rogue Assassin Episode 5 Central London is a mass of hurrying people on their way to work, as the time on 1,000 phones in their pockets clicks onto 8:45. Agent Riverside reaches ground level from the bowels of Piccadilly Circus Underground station and runs across the road before he walks down the Haymarket and turns into a cafe on the corner with Norris Street. Talgarth is already sitting at a table next to the window, with the remains of her Americano and toasted bacon croissant in front of her. Riverside goes to the counter. He turns back to Talgarth and makes a drinking hand sign to her across the space, and she nods. After 2 minutes he sits opposite her with 2 coffees. "Why are we meeting here?" he says. "Is something wrong with Vauxhall Cross?" He refers to MI6 headquarters. "I've gone in undercover," she says. "Sorry, I didn't let you know beforehand." "With Miller?" He drinks, and the steam rises up across his eyes. "I slept with him," she says, and searches Riverside's features for any reaction, but none comes. "Do you think that was right?" "We're on this operation together as 2 equals, Ivy. I'm not your boss." "I'm not seeking your approval, Rob. I want to know what you think, as a professional MI6 officer." He can see passion rise in her face. He drinks again. "I think he'll talk to a woman in his bed. He's that sort." "What sort is that?" She doesn't break her gaze of him. "Flaky." "What's your intel to conclude that?" "My gut, it's useful in the field." "I do know. I've been in ops for 5 years, Rob." "What's your plan?" he says, sidestepping an argument. "Understand him." She flicks her eyes to the street and watches passers-by. "I meant, what are your objectives?" he says. "We need to know if he's a risk to British interests. Is he a time bomb that could go off at any stage? If he's corrupt, and we know from Bluefly that he was bent when he was in his 20s, then he's a big risk to the state. He's a key minister. If he's subject to blackmail, they could get him to do all sorts." "What do I need him to tell me across the pillow?" "Well, one question would be," says Riverside, "has he heard of Bluefly at all? There's no reason why he should have done. Also, has anyone got in touch with him about blackmail in the last 2 days? And find out what's important to him. That will give you insights to inform your predictions about how he's going to behave under stress. The break-in wasn't done for no reason. Whoever paid for it means to use the Bluefly documents somehow." "Blackmail, surely," she says. "What else would they do with them apart from blackmail? Just publishing them doesn't make any money. Terrorists are only ever out to make a profit." "Some have got political agendas," he says. "You don't believe that, do you? It's only ever about cash to feather someone's nest somewhere." "You're cynical today." "I'm a realist today, Rob," she says. "Talking of which, have you been trained in anti-trapping?" "The basic course." "Don't put yourself at risk, will you?" "You're not my dad, Rob." Her face looks concerned now. "The job's risky, that's the point. That's why I'm here. I don't want to be sitting in a desk in an open-plan office in some faceless corporation creating spreadsheets." "You sound like Gabby Lane." "I'll take that as a compliment." She smiles at him and he returns it. "What background have you got on Miller?" says Riverside. "Research branch did a profile." "His wife wears her trousers, doesn't she?" says Riverside. Talgarth raises her eyes skyward. "Her name's Lauren Miller, born Lauren, Derbyshire," she says. "Politically active at uni. Joined the party when she started working in London. Met David Miller at local political meetings. She's a human rights lawyer. Any dirt on her? He says, taking another mouthful of macchiato. She was in a relationship at uni with a man called Conrad Wolf. Research branch say he has criminal associates. Did Conrad, Wolf and Lauren keep in touch? Says Riverside. Research branch say no. Why did you say it like that? Don't you believe him? Something David Miller said at the conference talk at the Cafe Royal, says Talgarth. He said that between him and his wife, it's odd that he ended up in politics because she's more political and has a whole range of well-connected friends that can get things done. Riverside raises his eyebrows. That could mean anything, he says. It could, yeah, but I'm going to keep it at the back of my mind. Where are you based anyway, with your cover life? The Ritz. Very nice, he says, and he stands up. Look, take this. He puts a round black box on the table. What is it? Something in case you're out of all other options. Press the side here. It sends out a shortwave signal. Only I know the code it sends. Did Tech Branch give you this? She says, picking it up. A bloke I know. It's between you and me. Like I said, if you've got no other option and you need help, press the button. She smiles and nods in silence. Her fingers take the box and she slips it into her bag. I'll see ya, he says. He pushes the door to the street and in a moment has disappeared into the stream of people outside. Talgarth pulls on her coat and walks out, then turns west to get back to the hotel. Elsa Roth is only 30 feet behind Talgarth, and she keeps her distance as she follows her along Jermyn Street, then watches the woman slip inside the Ritz. She walks past the hotel and stands at the Green Park tube station entrance. Then Elsa pulls out her phone and dials a number. Noah, I have news. On the terrace of his 20-bedroom mansion, on the slopes of the mighty Geisberg mountain, above his beloved Salzburg, Noah Fisher watches the clouds. This terrace, which runs along the entire length of his home, is his favourite place to stand in the mornings. Noah is a large and broad man with short grey hair that makes him look older than his 45 years. Noah's eyes had both been blue, but a knife fight when he was 20 in the back streets of Bonn has left his right iris a dull orange. He can see the sunlight bouncing off the enormous bulk of the Hochstaufen mountain range opposite, that marks the start of the Chiemgau Alps, before they march across the border all the way to Dergendorf. That is why he had this place built, exactly here, on this land, high up above the city. His city. Every one of the bedrooms has a view of the scenery. He had personally overseen every modernist detail, from the steel frame to the enormous glass windows that spread across the whole width of his home. And he completed the property with a long garage underground to house his unique collection of 13 Porsches, including his prized 917K, one of only a few left in the world. You have good news, I hope, he says, into his phone, not moving his gaze from the view. Miller has a new companion, says Elsa. We followed him yesterday, and he spent the afternoon with her in a hotel in London. Who is she? Her name is Cecily Keel. What's her background? Says Fisher. She's ordinary, says Elsa. All we could find is that she works for a charity. Oxford-educated, normal childhood. Nothing exceptional. Has that been faked? He says. You can never tell these days. It seems credible. I saw her. She's nothing exceptional. Is he fucking her? She pauses for a moment, then says, I would say so, yes. Then she needs to go, says Noah. She'll get in the way as we apply pressure to Miller. She can give him comfort, and we don't want that. We want him to feel isolated and desperate. We want him to feel like his whole world is collapsing around him. She's an innocent, Noah. She's done nothing but sleep with a married man. We can use her. How? Turn her. Get her to be our source in his camp. We get him to rely on her, then she destroys him from the inside on our behalf.
I'll think about it,
he says. Then he ends the call. After an hour and a half of walking uphill, Arabella and Dominic stop to eat Mrs. Nikolov's extensive picnic as they sit on the sloping earth high above the city of Sofia. "Another 40 minutes and we'll be at the top," he says, and she smiles at him. Her phone rumbles in her pocket. It's a notification about a new job from her online work portal. She flicks down to see the message. The job is in London, and the target is a woman called Cecily Keel. Marwell puts the phone away. She'll look at the details tonight, when they get back to the villa. Dominic chooses kofta from a paper wrapping, and Arabella looks out across the woodland below them. Her observational powers changed after she was trained to shoot by the Special Reconnaissance Regiment. Before then, she noticed things, of course, but the training gave her the ability to see everything, every change around her, in minute detail, because that's what makes an effective killer. In the corner of her eye, she sees a single glint, a reflection of sunlight from the trees to her left. Arabella stops eating, and her eyes watch for more. Like a hawk, she can see the slightest movement in the undergrowth, and her brain assesses whether it can be explained away by the breeze that is blowing up the hill and into her face, or not. "You know what I'd like to do?" Arabella puts her palm towards him to tell him to stop talking. She locks her eyes on Dominic and mimes zipping her mouth across to keep him silent. She stands now and runs down to the side of the clump of trees where she saw the glint of light. Her right hand moves across her body and into her jacket to pull out a SIG SP 2022 pistol from her underarm holster. Gabby is hidden to the south of the trees, and Kate to the north. The glint was generated by one of the T-19 housefly drones, as they have a light fitment on the front for their camera to use at night. Both of the MI6 women have headsets on with hinge-down video screens over the left eye that are being fed with the drone's camera feed. "Hold," whispers Gabby, into earpieces. The only view in the headset screens is foliage from the hovering T-19. It's flying by autopilot, and the motion sensors have been switched on, so it will rotate towards Arabella as soon as she gets within a few feet of the drone in her journey through the woodland. Somewhere in the sky, the noise of a light aircraft's engine can be heard as they wait. Then a tiny movement in the trees. The branch moves aside, and Gabby and Kate can see Agent Marwell in the video screens over their eyes. "Move in." Gabby's voice is softly smooth. They rise from their cover positions and run without noise, homing in on Marwell from two directions. They can see their target in the headsets, and they can see the moment that she hears their approach. "Target moving," says Gabby. "She's coming to you, Kate." Marwell pushes back through the woodland and steps past one spruce tree. Kate is there, across her path, with her Glock 17 raised. "Hello, Arabella," she says. Marwell stops and smiles. "Of all the people I expected to find in the woodland near Sofia, you were not one of them, Kate. We've come to take you in." "You're not alone, then?" Gabby is 20 feet away in cover, her weapon poised, waiting to see what happens next. "Come in quietly, Arabella. We don't want to have a scene now, do we?" Kate is fully aware of every muscle movement the woman makes. And Marwell steps forward with her left foot. "What's this about, Kate?" Aitken, she says. The woman who attacked me in Berlin, I don't know her name. Who was she? I've no idea, Kate lies. The speed with which Marwell moves surprises all three of them. She lunges for Kate and manages to get fingers to the barrel of the Glock. Kate pulls the weapon out of reach, but it's too late to stop Marwell's body crashing into her. On the other side of the clearing, Gabby rises and starts to run towards them. Marwell swings a clean, hard fist into Kate's face and uses the 1 second of reaction time to start her escape. Gabby is beside Kate as she recovers from the blow, and they take off in pursuit, jumping the undergrowth and running through the woods. Marwell crashes out of the tree line. The picnic is still on the ground, but Dominic has gone. She pushes her legs faster with all of her force as she climbs the hillside. Behind her, Gabby and Kate emerge from the woods. Arabella reaches a road that skirts the parkland. There's a stone hut next to the road, and she crashes to ground behind the hut, and her breaths pound out of her lungs. Gabby and Kate fan out left and right, splitting to each side of the upward slope. Down, says Gabby, as they reach the ridge that gives them a view of a roadway curving up and down the mountainside. She is behind the stone building, says Gabby. Hold here. The air buffets up the slope behind them, and they can hear birds singing in the trees to their right. Behind the hut, Marwell listens hard. The seconds seem to drag as she waits, but she has the advantage for a few minutes. Then the sound comes that she needs, an engine on the road, the other side of the summit. The vehicle is still invisible, but the engine noise is building. This is her cavalry. A metallic blue Dacia Sandero rolls into view. With each moment it gets nearer to Marwell's hiding place. Then she's up and running. Marwell is in the road, holding up her pistol. Kate and Gabby start the 30-meter run to reach the car. The driver is an old woman, and the vehicle screeches to a halt. Marwell runs over and yanks the door open. She grabs the woman's arm, pulls her out, and pushes her away to the roadside, where she collapses onto the ground. Kate and Gabby are 20 meters away. Kate takes a shot and hits the windscreen, which becomes an opaque sheet of glass fragments. Marwell is in the driving seat now, and she raises her gun, then smashes a large enough hole for her to see through. The engine is still running, and she pushes on the pedal. Gabby fires too now, and the upholstery of the front passenger seat pops out as the bullet hits less than a foot from Marwell's head. The Dacia is accelerating. Kate jumps into the road ahead of the car and raises her Glock. She fires 3 times, and Marwell has to duck down to avoid being hit, and she steers the car blind. Gabby lets off a string of bullets into the side of the vehicle, but Marwell isn't going to be diverted. The car speeds past and bumps off down the hill. Both spies empty the rest of their magazines into the rear of the Dacia before it drops out of view. Then they both swear out loud as they stand in the road in the morning light.
Hello?
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.